Today we are fitting the most recommended upgrade to our LS-powered SS Commodore. 3.9 diff gears and a Truetrac center. Everyone I've spoken to says it completely transforms the car, but after taking the VYSS back to the drags, the result did not line up at all. In fact, it raised a much bigger question about this car. If you've been following the VYSS build so far, you know what the goal is. Build it for under 20 grand total and make it as fast as we possibly can. Last episode, we took the car racing completely stock and really was shocked by how well it ran. The time was stronger than we expected, and now I know why. One of the main things I did notice on that first attempt at drag racing was how slow it was off the mark. It felt super sluggish, and it was a big reason why we thought we'd go diff gears first to try and wake it up and get it off the mark a bit quicker. The theory was simple. Better ratios meant a tighter launch and getting down that quarter mile a bit quicker. I was also convinced that we'd be cruising into the 13s as we ran a 14.059 last time, right on the edge. That combined with a proper Truetrac center meant that power was going to go down to both wheels equally and stop it from slipping on one side. We ended up choosing the 3.9s as they seemed to be the best balance between outright speed down the drags, but also keeping a good level of daily drivability and not ruining it on the highway. While it was a part 2 and we dropped the subframe out, I figured it was the perfect time to get some Nolathane subframe bushes in, replace the diff bush, which was pretty heavily split. It hadn't become an issue yet, but I do know that axle tramp becomes a problem with them, so I thought be one step ahead, get those bushes done and tighten the rear end up. This is one of those jobs that juggling it in with everything else, I just didn't have time to do it myself. I don't have a hoist handy, so we sent the car down to my good mate Alex at Vanguard Automotive, who took care of the whole lot for me. So once it was all done, I was super excited to see just how different this car felt. And to be honest, there was an immediate difference. The whole rear end of the car felt tighter and better put together. And I noticed if you really stepped on the accelerator and went to kick down from first to second, you'd actually get a chirp out of the rear tires, which was not something it did before. So it gave me confidence that things were running way better. I did know that no matter what, once we were down at the drag strip, the numbers wouldn't lie and we'd be able to see the exact difference that these diff gears have made. I wasn't expecting miracles, but I expected there to be an obvious difference, especially in the 60-foot times. Tonight, we got in nice and early. We've got our new diff gears in. We're still in our stock tires. We're gonna give it a half decent burnout, nothing too crazy, and let's see how we go. As always, we won't start too wild. Want to get a little bit of heat in the tires, but nothing too hectic, so we'll do a little bit of a burnout. I've already felt the difference in these diff gears. They definitely feel a bit more snappy, so we'll see if it translates to the track. I really hope we get a 13 tonight. Oh yeah, that feels way better. That's snappy, bro. Now we just got to figure out how hard we can launch. Right past. Nothing too crazy on the first go. That feels alright. Okay. Hard to tell. I was a little bit rushed on my launch, but we'll see. We'll see what the time slip says. The first run was really rushed. There weren't a lot of people there and we really got pushed through quickly, so there wasn't time to think and get everything set up and enjoy my time in it. With the first burnout, I 100% noticed a difference straight away. The car was a bit jumpy before. You could feel a wheel engage and then disengage and the thing wanted to jerk around. This time it was both wheels lit up. They both held beautifully down the track and it felt spot on. Let's fingers crossed we've run a 13 off the bat and then it's all good news tonight. About to find out. Thank you. 14.2 was slower. That's not good. Alright. We didn't break traction, so I guess I just got to go again and give it another launch. I'll pull up and we'll have a look. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, guys. It did develop like a bit of a weird miss on idle, so I'm thinking maybe there might be like a coil pack out or something, but the run felt good. I think they just really rushed us through that, and then I went past staging and then maybe rushed the launch a little bit. The shorter diff gears, I think, are making it harder to launch hard off the line to it. They're wanting to push through the brakes, so I'll experiment on this next run, but yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed with that, to be honest. I thought we'd be into the 13s pretty comfortably, so we'll try again. We didn't have a lot of time to stage. I probably rushed myself a little bit because we got pushed onto the track so quickly, but I noticed that similar issue of when I was stalling up, it really wants to push through the brakes early, so you can't build up revs like you want to. And when I let go of the brake and took off, it didn't really feel any different. I could tell straight away that it was a very similar feeling off the mark, where I expected it to really have the biggest difference. So first run, we went 14.2. It was the same as our first run stock. I knew that we could do better, so I thought, you know what, it's worth another shot. I'm sure it's going to be quicker. It felt better in the burnout, so we went again. Heaps of grip. So I'm just hoping it doesn't try and take off before the light if I plant the brakes. I'm really going to stand on them here. Feels alright. Still slow. I'm sure we're still slow. Yeah, I don't know. We're able to launch a bit harder that time. I sort of took my time, but we'll see what the time says. There we go. 14.05 again. Fuck's sake. It's weird. We're just running the same times as last time. Is there a possibility that the car had diff gears in it already? So on the second run, we ran a 14.053, and at this point, I knew something was up. It was almost the identical 2 times we ran the first night out. I thought maybe there was like a slight misfire that was slowing it down a little bit. I thought, you know what, stuff it. We'll give it one more go. We'll really like punch those revs in, so we're making the most of those diff gears off the line, and that should get us into that 13. On the last pass, I fouled the accelerator, actually pushed through the brakes, and we launched early. It was a miserable time. I didn't really keep into it knowing that had happened. I felt pretty disappointed in that moment. I wasn't really happy with how everything went. I think I went there with this preconceived idea, we're doing a 13, like it has to happen. By this point, I started to wonder whether I'd been done by the guy who I bought the diff gears off, that they weren't 3.9s. Was it possible that the car had 3.9s in it, but the people who I bought it off didn't mention it? Because it did have extractors and springs in it, but they said nothing about diff gears being changed. And I suppose the most interesting bit for me was once we got the time slips out, the 60 foot was identical, the total time was identical, miles per hour within 1 or 2 of each other. So to me, it seemed impossible for there to be 2 different diff gears with the times being the same the whole way through. Okay. Bro, what the Oi, I'm fucking lost now. I don't know if you guys can see that. That says 307. That's good. That's 3.07. That's 307 gears. That's not. Bro, what's happening? Oh shit, it's leaking out. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I'm so lost. Yeah, we've opened it and it's 307s. The new ones are definitely 3.9s. So why did we run the same time? All I can think now is it's like just a crazy coincidence that Maybe that mist that I've started to notice in it when it's warm at idle, maybe that's killing power and we're losing just enough power that it's running the exact same time. That's a crazy coincidence if that's what's happening, but I don't really know what else it could be. Like, that's a mechanical part. The ratio is the ratio, it's different. Our 60 foot was the same. You know what I need to do? I need to check the miles per hour over the finish line and see if that's changed. Because if that's less, then maybe the engine's losing power, because usually the ratio is like engine power to track time. Yeah, okay, I've got some work to do. I've got to go back to the drawing board. That's really thrown me. Okay, well, yeah, I guess I guess next episode we chase what's causing the miss and see if we can pick some sort of loss of power. I'm going to go ahead with that gearbox anyway because I need to do it and I really need this car to run at 13. And yeah, I guess I'll update you guys when I know more. If you guys have got any idea of what the hell is going on here, I'm all ears. Anyway, I'll push on. We've got some other stuff that we're going to do as well. I'm not sure if you can see here, but I've got the spare SS interior. There's probably the edge of the driver's seat here as well. We're doing some restoration work, which is actually turning out way better than I thought. So it'll be another drag racing episode next, I think, but then we'll get onto some interior stuff and getting this car to look as good as it's going to go. Hopefully. Anyway, thanks heaps for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Make sure you're liking my videos. It all helps me just bring in a little bit more income so I can keep powering these builds. It obviously costs me quite a bit of money to be able to put these cars together, but I love being able to put them on show for you. So subscribe to the channel, make sure you like the video, and I'll see you all really soon on the next one. Maybe I just need to hurry up and do the next thing instead.